I will ask for sorry for my English. It's not very good. It's not my native language, but I will do my best. So, I will talk a little about the PloofDB IoT is a new solution from Dualbase to rain monitoring. It's an integrated solution. So, last year, when I did this speech, like in this event, I showed some pictures from some floodings that were happening at that time in Brazil. So here we have in the south of Brazil some floodings, in the droughts in the north of Brazil. So we had both events happening at the same time in Brazil, extreme droughts and extreme floodings in the same time. So we had a problem. The National Agency for Monitoring the Natural Disasters got in touch with us and asked us to help them with this problem. Most of the infrastructure that they had to monitor the floodings, the rain, and the climate in that area were totally destroyed. So they needed some solution to help them to rebuild and to operate the network again. So this is the question that they made. How can rainfall monitoring be improved to a solution that can be affordable, sustainable, and offer low installation maintenance costs? That's what they needed, because many times when they had floodings, the equipment are gone. Everything is gone. The houses, the equipment, everything. They need to rebuild everything. And they need to rebuild it fast, because in the next season, it will happen again. So, this is the National Center for Monitoring of Alerts and Natural Disasters. They are, since 2011, attending 1,038 municipalities with 90 million people. Those 90 million people are in areas with great risks of flooding or droughts or natural disasters. So this is something that they need to deal with. And they asked us, how could Dualbase help you, help Semadin to make it possible? So we get this solution, the PloofDB IoT. The PloofDB IoT is a solution that came from the standard rain gauge that we already had. That is like the same size, the same shape, with the tipping bucket, so really precise, but with internal electronics that already do the data logging and the telemetry. Everything is inside the rain gauge. It has a battery that would last for 5 years. Doesn't need a solar panel, so it's very compact and very discreet. In Brazil, we had a lot of problems with robbery, where people come and steal the solar panel and damage the equipment, even if they simply don't know why that equipment is there. Actually, that equipment is there to protect lives, to protect them, but they steal it anyway. So they asked us to design this really compact, really discreet, and easy to install. So the idea is to have an equipment that could be cheap enough to have spare parts, so you will not do any maintenance in the field. If you have a problem with one equipment, you'll take a spare part, change it in the field, take the old one, bring it to the lab. Any maintenance would be done in the lab and not in the field. So it's cheap enough and simple enough to do that. And right now we are installing more than 400 devices in the south of Brazil, exactly the same area that we had those floodings last year. And this project already grew. So we have this area of Brazil with 400 units. And Semadin asked us to adopt this specific product to do that. Just for having an idea, we started the installation a while ago, and in just 3 weeks, we had already installed 250 units in the field. And we stopped it because they needed to deal with the locations to the equipment, to the places that all the authorizations. And then we are right now we are restarting the installations to finish them. So we are expecting to finish all the installations of the 400 installations in 2 weeks now. And after that, sorry, it's in the wrong. After that, this same project will be expanded. So we already have the contract to expand it to 1,000 points around Brazil. And after that, we are expecting the next year to be 4,000 points. So 4,000 units monitoring all over Brazil. As you know, Brazil is really a big country. So everything needs to be simple, to be easy to carry, easy to install. So that manner we can really operate all around the Brazil. So it's really a solution to have a sustainable network systems. So you have you know that many times you have some projects that you have the money to buy the equipment, but you don't have the money to operate it. You don't have the money to do the maintenance, to do the check-ins of the system. So operational cost is the problem. This is the way that we are dealing, bringing equipment that could be sustainable. And what we say that we are democratizing the environmental monitoring. We are bringing this to the populations that usually don't have this monitoring. Many cities in Brazil, municipalities that doesn't have much money, they are asking us to buy the same equipment because it's really cheap comparing to other equipments. So it's practical, compact, efficient, economical, and connected. And the keywords here usually is efficient and economical. And that's what Dualbase usually do. We can reduce the operational cost of meteorological monitoring. What I show you is just one example of what happened last year. And in 1 year, we developed a new product and launched it, installed it. Right now, we are again in the season of the floodings. But we do that with many other equipments, like this is for rain monitoring. We also have water level. We also have temperature, humidity, wind sensors, all of them trying to do the operational costs lower. One of the strategies to do that is the intelligent sensors, the smart sensors. The idea to use smart sensors is having sensors that could give you some idea about the quality of the data, not only the data that is being measured. So, for example, if I have a radar for water level, and this radar could be able to measure if it's inclinated, if it is vibrating, that could bring you more data to assess the quality of the data that you are getting. So that's the idea. We have all of our sensors. We have a smart vision. For example, the radar that could measure the inclination of the sensor, the rain gauge that could measure if it's clogged, or if it's inclined, or if you have a mechanical problem. So if you have a zero rain data, that's totally possible. Zero rain is not raining. It's not raining outside, so a rain gauge installed outside here would measure zero rain. But if I know that rain gauge is clogged, I can assess if maybe possible raining and not yielded rain gauge. So that's what we do. We bring this technology to every sensor. And we have a lot of expertise in this. So these are some examples of networks that we are installing or we already installed. Right now we have maybe 2,000 or 3,000 equipment around Brazil. Hundreds of those outside of Brazil. Like here in Africa, we already have many stations in Canada, all Latin America, like Colombia, we have hundreds of stations being used to monitor rivers. In India, we also have many equipment. So we are expanding all over the world, bringing these technologies like the smart sensors, like the integrated sensors, to all over the world. And that's what we do. Of course, if I would tell about Dualbase, everything we do, could be here for hours. But they asked me to speak only for 15 minutes. It's not very much time. So that's what we do. The company was founded 16 years ago, and we already have patents more than 40 countries. We work with all the equipment for weather monitoring, sensors, and everything else. We are members of SA12 support group in HMI. When you see the map from these organizations like SA12 support group, we have only two companies in the southern hemisphere. One of those companies is Dualbase. HMI also, there are just a few companies in the southern hemisphere, and we are very proud of that. In our portfolio, we have many sensors, like this is the radar in this little video here. It's showing how it's installed, how it's configured. The radar is a very good solution for water level monitoring, but we have many solutions, and most of them we have here in our booth. So you are invited also to come to visit us in our booth. I can show you more about that. And finally, our resellers, we have resellers all around the world, including South Africa, and we are expanding that. So we are also looking for resellers in other countries to be able to attend to our clients in the best way possible. And that's what we do. Thank you.